Just a little red dot swimming in a sea of stars. Got the whole damn verse spinning around you with open arms. It's a race against time that plunges you deep into the black. What are you gonna do when the void stares back? You'll never stop the revolution. Time to begin your evolution. Take a leap of faith. You gotta break the illusion. You gotta make your own solution. Take a leap of faith. The future's just a void, jump away.
Greetings folks, and welcome once more to Channel Otherdoc. I am Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and this is our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw. I am playing Cole Hayden, Human Gunslinger, and let us now go around and say hi to everyone, find out who they are and who they are playing, and we shall start with Anino. Hello.
Hi. I'm totally not distracted. My name's Anino, I use he, him pronouns. And today I am playing Rekmara, the Aviara Druid.
And Cazimi, hello.
Hi, I'm Cazimi. I use she, her pronouns, and today I'm playing Nunu Fritz Holdsbottom Thunderstruck, the Star Gnome's craftsperson, who uses they, them pronouns.
Awesome. And now over to May, hello.
Hi everybody, my name's May, she, her pronouns, and I am playing Lastness Chain Tower, she, her pronouns also. Happy Sunday.
It is Sunday, that's right. One forgets. I'm never sure what day it is, or what year it is, come to that. But enough of that folderol. Hi, Mem.
Hello, I'm Mem, she, her pronouns. I'm playing Narita Galeen, also she, her pronouns.
Awesome. And now I shall hand things over once more to our illustrious station master, who is about to kill us all. Alyssa, hello!
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Alyssa. I use she, her pronouns. And we are Queen Othokent of the Lizard Folk of Chiron. So, like with most games on this channel, we are going to be using the safety tools, the X card, the N card, and the O card. If anything is crossing a line at any time, feel free, players, to type an X in the Zoom chat, make an X symbol, we will stop, rewind, it never happened. If we're towing that line and you're okay having it in the game, but you don't want a graphic description, that's when the N comes into play. We'll cut to black, put it behind a veil, and move on. And if you're giving an Oscar-worthy performance and things are getting tense, but you're okay to keep on piling on the drama, that's when the O card comes into play. And I may also give an O question mark in chat, and then you can feel free to respond accordingly. So, last week on Ghosts of Saltmaw, after rescuing young Naudilid Redshirt Oceanus, the party continued exploring the space ghost. They found the former deck wizard's cabin, which Rekmara claimed for his own, and everyone indulged in some expensive organic fruit, although Cole kept his to sell for credits back on Saltmaw Station later on. 2 of the 3 remaining rooms proved to be storage areas for the galley and maintenance, but the final room was occupied by 3 young lizard folk warriors who'd slept through the whole change in management because the comms were disabled in their room. And the 3 lizard guys demanded that the spacers hand over the cache of weapons, which they claimed to have purchased to defend their colony from psyworms on the planet Chiron, where their people had evidently been abandoned by the Likshay garrison after a failed attempt at establishing a military base. It was at this point that a visibly upset Cole Hayden excused himself, but when Fritz followed him out of the room, he revealed to them that he had been on Chiron during the evacuation, along with Sergeant Lee Watson, with whose help Fritz eventually convinced Cole to return to Chiron to do the right thing.
That's entirely subjective.
Well, to attempt to rescue the surviving colony, in any case. Here lies Cole Hayden. He died doing the right thing.
That's what he fully expects to appear on his tombstone.
The party scrambled to gather as many resources and as much manpower as they could before making the void jump to Chiron, their first void jump of the campaign, I might add. And when they reached the planet, their lizard folk guides brought them directly into their lair to an audience with the queen, who agreed, albeit begrudgingly, to accept the party's aid. And that's where we pick up now. So, how do you wish to proceed?
Carefully.
If I recall correctly, Fritz was still orbiting with the ship.
Yes,
proper,
Fritz
correct? Okay.
is still on the ship.
I mean, I guess we'll set up a just figure out what the shortest path. Well, I mean, we'll have to get an idea from the queen what presumably they've survived as long as they have. They've had some means of just trying to keep out the brainworms, sort of find out if they have what they've been doing, and then sort of figure out the path to the shuttle, basically, and figure out sort of how we can set it up, what how close can we land, et cetera, and then set up a line of defense from the exit to the shuttle and start shuttling people up. That's what I would think the plan would be, but that's that's in very broad terms.
You were asking for specific numbers of how many people you were trying to evacuate?
Yes.
Would you like that number now?
Oh dear. No, but
That
please
would be
give
good.
it to me anyway.
There are 54 lizard folk. Some of them children and some of them elderly. There are 4 koalinth, which are not anthropomorphized koalas. They are amphibious hobgoblins.
Oh, of course. Why didn't we think of that?
I don't know. I couldn't remember either. There are 5 Lakatha, 4 merfolk, and they have 1 Sahuagin prisoner.
Can you spell that last one, please?
Sahuagin.
Thank you. Is there anything specific that we should know about that prisoner? Like, are they like the scourge of the galaxy or anything?
They don't really get along with most people. They tend to be very territorial. And from your briefing with the Queen, you gather that one of the lizard folks' previous dwelling places has been taken over by these people to be used for whatever nefarious purposes they are about, under the influence of these psyworms.
Were the Sahuagin here before the lizard folk were?
Are they indigenous to the planet?
Not according to the official reports of the Likshay. There was no intelligent life on the planet. But considering what we know about the Likshay garrison's reports about the survey of the planet, they may have been here.
Might just be a brainworm's plot. No
Thank you.
intelligent life.
Thank you for the Durance flashback. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It's all coming back to haunt me now.
You know Sergeant Watson is the same character, right?
I was thinking about
Yes.
that.
Yep.
I didn't fully put two and two together until this moment. But I remembered, I noted the similarity, but then I didn't think about them being the same character.
Yes.
Oh my god. So yeah.
And cool, interesting point of note, this marsh where the lizard folk have made their lair is called Fool's Marsh.
Of course it is.
Or that's what you all started calling it after you got here and figured out what was going on.
Yeah. Oh my god. Is the
It's Pratt's Folly all over again.
yeah. Oh, it's just one folly after another. Is the Sahuagin prisoner they have infected to their knowledge?
Not to their knowledge, but they are still waiting to see what happens. They weren't taking any chances.
Yeah, but they don't have anyone among them, that, as far as they're aware, that are infected. Is that
Not that
correct?
they are aware.
Okay.
So Lastness looks to the Queen and asks her, is everyone accounted for here? Everyone that you just named?
In this room, no.
But within this settlement?
Within the complex, yes.
Okay. All right, I just want to make sure that we're not running and fetching somebody who's decided to become a space explorer.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Well then, how far away is the? How far away did we park?
Not too far.
All right. And just based on, let's see, this is a different spot from where we were. So where we parked, was that the closest place we possibly could have landed?
Most likely, yes.
Okay.
It is within walking distance.
All right. Okay. I guess, did we know also what the worms naturally live in? Do they live in, like, just pools of water, or is it something more complicated?
Typically underground, which means this is not an ideal place to shelter, but their above ground habitat has been taken over and flooded.
So that's both good news and bad news. Okay. So yeah, basically, I guess we'll just have to set up a. I was just trying to figure out if we need. Do they have? Okay, well, next question. Do they have? So we'll ask Her Majesty if they have. If they're expecting more Sauyonin or others in on to possibly attack while we're doing this.
It seems highly probable.
Okay. If they can send someone out to help us, or send someone up with us to help identify what the fronts are, we can set up kind of a defensive line.
Can we fit 69 people and the Queen on our ship?
For an emergency maw jump back to a station where they can take refuge, yes.
How many
assume
can
that-
fit in a shuttle?
I was going to say, I assume somebody
it'll-
has let me know so that I can be arranging up top, even though
Yeah.
it'll take several shuttles.
It'll
Okay.
take several trips by shuttle.
I think it was something like 10 or 12 max at one point
Yeah.
was the number.
Does one of us need to stay behind, or does somebody here know how to operate the shuttle, or is there like autopilot mode or anything?
I could
If-
assume that one of the garrison's volunteers might have come in to be.
Yeah. Lee or one of her men can pilot the shuttle for you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think we want Lee with us.
Okay.
Well,
Like definitely
yeah.
one of
She
her
will,
crew can.
she'll assign Sweet to
Cool.
pilot the shuttle for you then.
Yeah. Basically, so we'll set up a thing where we'll have a defensive line from here or from the entrance of the caves to the ship, and always keeping an eye out for any encroaching worms, as well. Just send people up in groups of a dozen, or I guess groups of 11 if the 12th person has to be there piloting the shuttle, basically, and that's 15, 60. It's 69 people.
Yes.
Is it? Nice.
I checked the math 5 times.
Then, so that is good. That is good. So that's what, 6 or 7 trips?
Well, 69, and then what?
Divided by 11?
Six
5?
trips for them and one for us.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
5 of us, and then I guess 2.
A couple of leftovers and then
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
What kind of defense did they have against the worms coming into their home?
Yeah, I believe we call that
Bunch.
hoping for the best.
Yeah.
They have the power of positive
Burrow and
thinking.
pray. Burrow and pray. Oceanus has been here.
No
No
worms.
traps.
No worms.
No worms.
They're doomed.
We wondered why they were all running around saying that, right?
Apparently that's the process.
So,
Let's start with the young and old and sick first. Get them out of the way. It's not like they'll be able to defend anybody else. I'm not saying that in character. That's May out of character.
okay. All right. So there is from the throne room where you are currently in council with the Queen. If you go north, there's a tunnel that will take you to the nursery.
Why is it called the nursery? Like, I'm a little nervous now.
Baby lizard people in there.
Yes.
Oh, right. Lizard people.
They don't technically nurse, but in common, that's the word it translates to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, all
Egg
that
pile doesn't come
primate-centric
across the
language.
same. Yeah.
It's the hatchery.
The hatchery. Yes. There's one of those too. The queen will take her retinue to get her own eggs from her private hatchery, and they will meet you back in the training hall to the east, since that's the most well, that's where the armory is.
Do we send the children up first? Do you folks think?
If you
Yeah.
go and get them.
I volunteered to go start getting the children.
Narita will go as well.
Okay. As I turn to the appropriate page. All right. So not sure how well you can see this, but I have sort of sketched out a map.
Ooh.
So you're gonna want to go up this way. This is just a guard room, and then here's like the nursery and the hatchery up this way. So you get there, and there are 20 lizard folk and 13 hatchlings. And you can see they're already in preparation to be evacuated. Word has gone around. One of the lizard folk that escorted you here has run ahead to send word so that they could try to wrangle the babies.
Can the adult lizard people carry the babies, and so that we can get like 22 instead of just 11?
That's a good idea.
Yes. So
Everybody make slings and just cram a kid in it.
They
Carry an egg.
Yes.
Grab a baby, grab an egg, and run. There's no panic here.
Okay,
Yes.
kids, we're going to play a game. Blindly run that direction. Go!
Dodge the worms.
Great.
If you can touch.
Scream no worms while you go.
Best heroes ever.
Yes. So that little room up towards the top is the hatchery, and it turns out 3 more of the eggs have hatched.
Oh,
Yeah.
more babies.
All right, make that 72, guys.
72.
Congratulations. It's more to carry.
But everybody starts packing up the eggs into little crates.
Are the crates kind of shaped like those packages you get at the grocery store,
Yes,
where you
yes.
can like put like 6 or a dozen to?
Yes.
It's just got this massive crate of little lizard people.
Just crates and crates of eggs. Somebody brings in a little furniture dolly from back in the day.
Yep, we gotta carefully roll out their future.
Had to cut some of the tension from last week.
The calm before the storm of worms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the hatchery workers seem to have that in hand, and they start heading toward the guard hall, where everybody is amassing. There is another little passage that continues north parallel to these 2 chambers if you want to like scope it out. Otherwise you can continue elsewhere.
I mean, while we're prepping, it's probably going to be a good idea to, by which I mean a terrible idea, but on paper a good idea to just kind of check out the base and make sure
yes.
we're not missing anybody.
You have from the Queen, you have a key to the gate and the treasury, which is what that little area is. And as long as you have one of the lizard folk guides with you, you shouldn't have too much trouble from the guards.
So the bad news is we've got to probably grab that stuff last, because it's the lives are more important than the
stuff.
monies. Yeah, but I guess if there's any room on our last trip, there might be room for some of it. I'm guessing,
Yep.
but it'll just depend on where we are and what we're doing at that point. Because if we've got if we're surrounded by brainworms or infected people, then there may not be time to get
This
the
is
the crown jewels.
This is true.
Shouldn't we just secure the landing area and make sure nobody breaches it?
That is a great idea.
I mean, we should probably maybe put something combustible in some of these pathways in case.
Murder traps. Murder holes.
Yeah.
After we've cleared everything.
Well, yes, I'm not saying we light everything on fire now. I'm just saying.
But maybe later.
This is Rek Mara we're talking about.
Yeah,
He has been known to suggest such
I
things.
just want to make sure that it's after the people are gone. That's
Man, I
that's
know
it.
everything right now looks like kindling. If you can just hold off just a little bit longer until we get everyone off.
Does it look like kindling though? It's kind of damp and
It is kinda
soggy
damp.
down here.
Foggy.
Yeah.
This calls for a chemical fire.
Does it though?
When doesn't it? I actually, is there any surveillance tower or place where they have a way to keep an eye out for potential enemies coming / brainworms?
From above ground? Because right now you are underground.
Right. That's a good point.
Yes, there is probably some type of watchtower.
Okay, but it's probably set up to the system, right? Like it'll alert when these things are coming. So we don't need to keep someone up there watching till the last second.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the queen probably has some of her own people up there
Okay.
as well. I am going to take a picture of this map and send it to you.
Cool.
in the Discord.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Lighting, but this should at least give you sort of a visual.
So
Okay.
Where's the shuttle landed?
The shuttle would have landed. Look at that. Sort of off of the left-hand side of the page, and then you would have come in by boat on that little bend underneath 23 there, the guard room.
Oh.
Or raft.
which one's the main hall?
Number 11 was the throne room where you
throne room.
started out.
Okay. 24 and 25 are where the babies were.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Number 23 is the guard room.
Okay.
So,
So everyone's evacuating through 23.
not going through 23. That was like just a guard post at the entryway there.
Alright.
They are heading to number 40 to the west, just to kind of collect everybody there. You can, correction, you would have come in from the north. There isn't I didn't draw that tunnel on there, but you would have come in from the north. So everybody's gathering in number 40 so that you can take them out the north tunnel that I forgot to draw.
Okay.
Does that north tunnel connect to 49 at all?
It kind of goes parallel to 49. 49 itself is actually water, and that opens up out into the lake
Okay.
or the coast.
Okay, so we're going from. I'm sorry.
So
40
yes,
up.
you could go.
40
You
up.
could go out 49 as well, but 49, 50, and 51 are actually water.
Okay.
So all the non-amphibious people cannot. Or wait, we all have life suits. Do they still work underwater?
Yes.
Okay.
How do we feel?
You're sort of
about-
landed on the beach, kind of parallel to that exit from 49.
Yeah.
If that makes
How do we
sense.
feel
Makes
about
sense.
blocking the entrance to everything on the right hand side of the map?
Do you think
What-
that's where they'll come in from?
Yeah, like, would they come in through the water or would they come in through the dirt?
The worms might come in from the dirt, but the worm infected Sawagan would come in through the water.
It looks like 40 is the linchpin to the right-hand side.
So we could cut off one group by blocking that.
But that's also the main route out.
No, the main
there's
route out is
to the north. That's not drawn.
Yeah, but it's off of 40.
Yeah, but if we block the rest of the stuff from 40.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about necessarily blocking the south entrance of 40. I was just thinking about just heading east. Heading south out of 40, heading east real quick to the entrance of 30, the entrance that goes to 38, and just beyond that entrance, there's a bottleneck. And I was thinking about just collapsing that bottleneck. If you know sort of what we're...
I think that could work.
But what happens if the worms come through the tunnel coming from the north side of 40?
Then we are doomed. Horribly, horribly doomed. I didn't say it was a good plan. What I said was, how do we feel about it?
I just was wondering what the backup was, that's all. Just posing questions.
I think the feeling is meh.
I think we should just let things stay the way they are, but be prepared to fall back into one direction versus the other.
So we'll want to put...
Let's leave the entrance open.
Yeah. So we're going to want to put people at the... watching the area on the right, the water area. Okay. And we're gonna want to have people kind of, just sort of.
Well, surveillance. Let's leave it at surveillance.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna want to. Well, I mean if somebody comes, we're gonna have to get people out there. So we're gonna have to have people at the ready, sort of, a little bit to be able to get throughout the complex. Then when we head out, we're going to need people along the route, and we're going to need people at the landing site. We might not have as many people as I've just said we're going to need. But then the question is, how many of the lizard folk and everyone else here can fight? Because basically, I feel like we're going to draft all of the adults to help out.
There's probably a fair number who can.
But we don't need to make a last stand if we're just trying to hightail it out of here, right?
Yeah. But if we need to get out with more haste.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm just talking, when I say having, I'm just like having one or two people around, in each sort of key area, just so that we can move them to any front that appears.
Still kind of in that corridor outside of the hatchery area, as all of this planning is taking place.
Yeah, I mean, I assume we're just sort of walking. I assume we've engaged Sorkin mode and are walking and talking throughout this complex as this is going on.
Sorkin mode.
So as you are walking and talking, getting ready to survey everything, you hear a little bit of a commotion coming from the hatchery area and a surge of bodies down the tunnel as the last of the hatchery workers seem to be running away from something coming from the treasury.
Okay.
Lastness takes off towards the treasury.
Okay.
You just see Rekmara just wait. wait.
Narita slowly walks behind. Would like to see what the danger is before I run right into it.
Hey, don't split up. Do we give chase, Cole?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we better stay together here.
All right.
They're gonna buy one of those leash things that you put on toddlers. They're gonna put it on Lasness. I know it.
Spleesh.
The treasury is 11 or 12?
11 and 12 are the throne room and the temple. So it's 26 and 27 that are parallel with the hatchery. That are the treasury and another guard room. So something has come out of that gate and is coming down that corridor from the north.
Something.
Okay.
So what you see pursuing the nursery workers down the corridor, and what you see Lasness running toward are 5 reptilian humanoids, but they look a little different from the other lizard folk that you've encountered so far. These ones seem to just be like pursuing their fellow lizard folk sort of mindlessly and very aggressively and violent.
Oh.
The infected.
Yeah, I feel as though I'm not going to hesitate and all and just open fire on them because this is... Don't want this to happen again.
So we're gonna roll for initiative.
Alrighty.
Oh, this game uses dice.
What do I add to this? Add anything?
Your dexterity, if you have any dexterity bonus.
Sure don't. Great. It was a 4.
Okay.
You really are walking slowly.
She strolls.
Leisurely stroll toward danger.
You got a 15.
I also got a 15, but it was with my dex bonus.
Okay, I got a number, which I will know as soon as I have figured out. There it is. Okay, 15.
All the 15s.
All right, the 3 of you may decide who would like to go first, or we could just have Lasness go first. Since he took off running, or you can roll off.
I was gonna put my thumb on my nose, like not it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I am the paladin.
Lasness would be in front, so I think it only makes sense that she goes first.
Oh, I mean, we could always shoot over her first.
This is true. You have range.
But can you shoot over me? Don't hit me.
Yeah.
We have to shoot around Narita. But...
Shooting over Lasness is a very, very logical thing to do. I'm good with whatever, guys.
I wouldn't mind going first.
Go for it.
Okay.
Well, before you can do anything, one of the worm walkers engages with Lasness, who has run ahead.
Yay.
So it is going to attempt to grab you, Narita. Sorry, Lasness.
I was like, wait.
It's Lasness. Sorry, it's going to attempt to grab.
Engages with Lasness by grabbing Narita.
Yes. But that's gonna be 6. It misses.
I'd like to have her limbo past it.
Okay, sure.
I just imagine her like almost sliding under her knees under the grab. I don't even know why she does that. It's just what she does.
It reaches out to try to swipe and clothesline you, and you just skid right underneath its arm.
Don't get too close to him.
Close is how I fight.
Close is how you turn into one of them too.
All right. So, Rekmara, you're next.
Rekmara is just going to level his sun staff and shoot the nearest Wormwalker. I'm guessing a 5 does not hit anything.
Does not.
Okay. He just mutters a curse as he misses, but he then starts glowing purple, and a little gemstone pops out and zips right through past the past the first guard that he tried to shoot, and hits Lasness, and is going to buff her strength.
Yes.
I'm going to buff her strength by 4.
Yes. I just add that 4 straight to the damage if it hits, or does that go towards any strength checks, just to double check?
Yeah, your strength is now increased by 4.
Copy that.
What is it now?
It would go up to
147.
it would go up to an 18.
Okay. Is that it for you, Rekmara? Okay. And then Lasness or Cole?
Go for it, Cole.
All
You've
right.
got a bone to pick with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna do terrible things. Terrible things. I think I've got the plasma launcher out for this. Because of what
No
these
fooling
are.
around. Yeah.
And I mean, well, yeah, I won't. Let's not get into the physics of it right now. But there's a reason. And I'm gonna take aim at whichever one is closest, basically.
Okay.
And start there. I think. Okay, that's 18.
That's a hit.
Awesome. Okay. Am I within am I within 5 of their AC?
Oh, you're well above that.
Excellent, then. That means more damage. All right. Cool. Excellent. So I shall now roll 3d6. So that is going to be 8 damage, fire blaster, explosive heat damage.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see if there's anything else weird that I get to do as a result of all the many things that are on my sheet. No. I guess we're gonna leave it at that. Unless check. It'll be fine. Yeah, we're good.
All right. So Lasness, you're up.
Yes. When these mind worms take over, we can't see them, right? Because it's the whole any hole's the goal kind of thing
Yep.
in the skull.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
They go through any orifice into the brain.
And these things, can you save the person, or is that it for them?
It might be possible.
Okay. Then I'm gonna moderate my hits to be non-lethal. I don't want to kill them. I just want to state that now, just to be on the fair side, unless if there's no other choice. So as Lasness is running, she's got her armor coming to her. She's summoning her rocket hammer to her hand, and as this happens, she's launching towards the one that's like the biggest. Is there anyone that's like larger than the others?
These are all you get the idea that they were guards, so they're all fairly, well, they were fairly buff at one time. They look like they were not well, but probably the one that attacked you seems to be the most beefy.
Okay. Then well, Lasness is always going to go for the biggest fish in the pond. So she turns on a dime and leaps up into the air and smashes her rocket hammer down.
Mhm.
And as she does that, she's going to yell Meteor Smash. And we're also going to channel some divinity and make a gamma blade out of her rocket hammer.
Okay.
I don't know how a hammer can have a blade, but everyone's just going to use their imagination.
It's got pointy bits.
Okay, so let's start with seeing if it actually works. 14?
Yes, that's a hit.
Okay. So now force damage equal to 2d8 plus charisma modifier.
Plus your strength bonus.
Plus the strength bonus. So 4 and nothing. Okay. 4, 8, 12. So she does 12 points of damage.
Wormwalker down to one knee, but it's still conscious. You dealt him a pretty heady blow, though.
Awesome. I did mention that she yelled Maw Smash or something like that.
Yes.
Was it Maw Smash? I think it was. Okay, good. That's very important. It's very important for the attack, you know.
It was super effective.
Thanks.
Anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
No, but she's gonna feel pretty good about that one.
All right. That brings us to the second of the Wormwalkers. And it is, let's see what it's gonna do. It is going to attempt to push past you, Lasness, and make a lunge at Cole. So if you would like to take an attack of opportunity against him.
Sure thing. And rude. Yes. 11.
That'll hit.
Oh
Roll
my
your
god.
damage.
Wow. Oh. Okay. Another 8. 18. That's 24 points of damage. My gosh. I feel like I almost rolled that wrong. I got a lot of high.
Ah.
Yep. That can happen.
Describe for me how you render this Wormwalker unconscious with a single blow.
So Lastness is going to look at him and say, "You are not supposed to ignore a lady of any description." And she wields her rocket hammer and brings it up over her head and smashes it down really hard, just on the back of his head, since he's pushing past me. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. The force damage. Yeah, but that's the 2d8. Okay. No, I did all the damage I could.
I presume once they're at this stage that it's not possible for them to come back.
No, you have to catch it. Cole would know you have to catch it right away, and if you catch it before the worms kill them and take over, you can cure them. But these guys are probably too far gone to save.
Gotcha.
Okay. So you're saying the non-lethal route is maybe not the option for them?
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I mean,
yeah.
they're undead technically, so.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, the way that I will express that is, and I will say, "Thanks, but don't worry about the light taps; they're too far gone." I say, trying to back up.
You hear Lee through the comms, "Shoot to kill."
Yeah, what she said.
Because she has heard that you have engaged in combat.
Well, maybe on my next turn I'll take him out, but I think that's the entirety of my turn at this point,
Okay.
right?
Right. And that brings us to another of the 5 Wormwalkers. And he is just going to not ignore a lady, and he will attempt to grab you, Lesness. And this time that's going to be a 21.
Yeah, that got me.
So you are going to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from the grab, and you are now grappled.
Okay. All right, I've got one locked down. Shoot it! Shoot it!
And that brings us to Narita's turn.
All right, come here.
Let's see. So they're grappling, but is the undead person on top of Lazarus? Is there a chance of hitting her if I do in fact shoot?
No, it's basically just reached out and grabbed her.
Okay. Well, We'll take a shot with the repeater. We'll see. 5.
Unfortunately, that's going to miss. It misses by about 2 inches.
Whoops. And then,
anything else you would like to do?
take a few steps back.
Okay. And then 2 more of the worm walkers have their turn. Rekmara, one of them is going to attempt to rush towards you. And that's a 13 to grab you.
No.
No.
And I say no.
And the last one is going to attempt to get to Narita. But it misses. Lasness, they're running past you. You can try to attack one of these 2 creatures.
Can she still do that while she's grappled?
She can still attack. She just can't move.
Okay.
Good thing I can wield that thing with one hand. But all I got was a 10.
10 will hit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Uh, 10. Then 14. Hey.
Would you like to hit the one that went for Rekamara or the one that went for Narita?
I'm gonna do the one that went for Rekmara. Because I think he's closer. I think.
All right. Top of the round. The first worm walker that is almost completely dead is attempting to crawl through the tunnel and sneak by to get to Narita and try to grab her. And that's going to be a 22.
I'm grabbed.
You are grabbed. So you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. It's got a curiously strong grip for an undead creature. As it grabs onto you, but it can't really do anything because you're all in your life suits. I am assuming you all have your helmets on as well.
Always.
That is like the 7th rule of the Star Scouts.
Right.
Always keep your helmet on.
Always.
Always.
It's right after wash your hands.
So, Rekmara, you're up.
Rekmara is going to blast the He's going to blast the one that's engaged with him with his sun staff.
Mhm.
It is a 19.
That's a hit for sure.
2d6. 5. 3 is 8 plus 2 from my dex. That's 10 points of damage.
That is enough to kill it.
Okay. So as my bonus action, you see that Reknar's sun staff glows purple because he casts Shillelagh on it. And he's going to spin it around his head and then baseball swing it into the Worm Walker that's engaged with Narita.
Okay.
That's a 16.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With Shillelagh, that means he does 1d8 plus 6 damage. That's 5 plus 6, so that's 11 points of damage to that one as well.
There were two that are actually ran up. There's one that ran up to her and tried to grab her and missed, and then there's the one that's almost dead that actually succeeded in grabbing her.
Yeah, I'll hit the one that's grabbing her.
Okay. All right. 3 down, 2 to go. Cole.
Okay, so of the 2 that remain, how many? Go ahead.
One is next to Narita. And the other one is currently grappled and holding on to Lasnus.
Okay.
That was his first mistake.
They're kind of in the... Okay, so just remind me, and I'm trying to remember how 5e grappling works. Are they considered like within the same space, basically? Or are they in different spaces?
No, I do believe he's violated my 6 feet of protection.
Yeah. Okay, so seeing that, I just kind of... Cole swears and immediately switches to
Yes,
to
Cole,
his black...
you know that when one of these creatures grabs onto somebody, they're going to attempt to transfer a worm into their victim.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully there are suits, but at the same time, but he can't. He has to switch to his other blaster because to his repeater because the plasma launcher will.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to risk breaching Lasnus's suit with the plasma launcher.
Smart.
Yeah. So basically he's gonna be like, God damn it, and just whip out the repeater and fire.
Okay.
And that's a 10.
That's a hit.
Well, in that case, I assume though that I'm not more than 5 over its AC. Am I?
No.
Okay, didn't think so. Had to ask. However, what I will do, crap, it's a risk. I'm gonna go ahead and use my newly acquired ability from my creed at 3rd level of Hot Shot to use a bonus action to overcharge the shot so that I get an additional die of damage.
Okay.
But I will not be able to use this weapon next round. Well, that could have been more. It's 8. I think you're muted.
Anything else you want to do?
Just use my bonus action? No, just
Okay.
keep backing away from the thing.
Okay. Lasnus, you're up.
Did we ever talk about inspiration die, oh mighty station master?
What about them?
I can't remember if we earned one at a point. Did we? But it'd be gone by now, wouldn't it?
No, you would still have it if you earned it, unless you spent it.
Okay.
'Cause,
I think I was the only person who's spent an inspiration so far, though.
yeah.
But I think you're also the only one that earned it. Now it's jogging my memory.
I got
Oh,
one
No,
and
I earned one
immediately
the
spent
very-
it.
Yeah, it almost immediately. Same here too. That first run with all the
But,
spiders.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, so my goal in this is I actually want to use my rocket hammer in a slightly different way. Instead of using the front end of it, I want to use the back end where the rocket part is.
Okay.
And I basically want to try to blow this thing's brains out.
All right.
So let me just first roll to see if it's a success. Because if it is, I'm going extra. It's a 10.
Good.
Okay. So she is grappling with this creature, and she turns her rocket hammer around so the back end faces this thing. And she starts muttering something, and then she starts getting really clear, and she says, "Adversary of the verse, it is I, Star Pilot Private Chain Tower. In the name of the Order of the Sepulchre, I shall punish you." And she fires the rocket hammer. And I'd like to use every bonus possible, please. Okay. So that's a 1. And then a 7, that makes 8. Another 7. 18, and then 9. Because I'm using the rocket hammer, I also want to be able to the rocket hammer also can do extra damage, 1d4, so I'm also going to roll that as well. And that's a 4, so that's 19 points of damage.
You do. You blow this creature's brains out. Splatter your helmet a little bit.
I just cleaned this.
Glorious.
That was a little extra, yeah.
I've been waiting so long to say that horrible, horrible piece of literature. Are there any adversaries left?
There is one left. It's the one that's close to Narita, and it is Narita's turn.
I've learned my lesson about this blaster. I'm not gonna be really good at it. I'm still gonna try again. We're gonna try again. See how it goes. 18.
18 hits.
Woo. And that's 2d6 of damage. 8.
All right. So that brings us, unless there's anything else you would like to do.
She's going to use. Wait, can I use this spell? Can I use a spell if it's to do a bonus action at this point?
Yes, because
Okay.
you didn't cast a spell yet this round.
Perfect. She's going to use Expeditious Retreat, and she's going to run the hell away.
Brave Narita. Narita flees the corridor. Rekmara, back to you.
he looks a little stunned seeing just Narita just bolts away. He goes, right. And he holds out his hand and just goes, Hadouken. And fires a sacred flame.
Dex save for the thing. That is a 4 minus 3.
Yeah, no.
Roll your damage.
1d8. Did 4 points of damage.
All right. Cool.
Well-
Peter is overheated.
Yep. So
There's
what's
only one worm walker left.
it's not your day, fella. I switched to the and he's prone right now too, isn't he?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I am going to have to get a little closer because he's prone. But I think my chances improve if I get closer, unless I'm thinking of entirely the wrong rule set. But if it doesn't matter, I'm just going to just switch back to the plasma launcher and attempt to launch some plasma at them. That would be a 12. Wait, no. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
It.
Awesome.
And you've exceeded 5 above its AC.
5 or more. Excellent. Good. And plasma. 3, 4, 5, 7. 7 plasma.
All right.
And I will actually go. You know what? I'm going to bonus action that. Because this doesn't have overheat either. It has heat. It doesn't have overheat. So I can use it too. So I'm going to add another die of damage to that.
Please do.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
How do you want to kill this worm walker?
Basically, like I said, just sort of look down coldly and say, it's just not your day. Just fry the thing. This goes up in a big blast of plasma.
And with that, you have cleared the corridor.
I am going to, if they are not already, I am going to also plasma cook the other bodies.
Okay. Several of them have taken. Well, at least one of them took a rocket fire to the face. But go ahead.
Just because, I don't want any worms surviving, if at all.
Yeah, I
possible,
think he's thinking more along the lines of sterilization.
Yeah.
Yes. You can do that, and I won't make you roll for it. We'll just let it happen. Would you like to clear the treasury to make sure there's nothing else coming from that direction, or would you like to move on?
Let's just check in there really quick.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Meanwhile, Narita is like
Playing it cool in the main hall like nothing happened. Did I just embarrass myself? It's fine.
Staying out of the line of fire is what you're doing.
That's important.
He's like calmly directing everyone else. Everywhere else.
It was
Avoid
a very
this hallway.
tactical retreat.
You guys had it in hand. She was just gonna go take care of other things.
The good news is you don't have to worry about the gate getting in your way of clearing the treasury. That's open. They may have pulled it off its hinges a wee bit. And at the end of the hall, there is, let me look at my map here. The guard room. And since you have been made aware of the secret door into the treasury, I won't actually make you look for it.
That's good because we don't have our secret door sniffer with us at the moment.
You know that the secret door is just to the right on the opposite side of the gate, so you don't have to go all the way to the guard room, but you might want to go to the guard room and just do a sweep.
Okay, well, we'll do that.
Okay.
Sorry, I was double checking something. We're going to the next room, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. To the end of the hall to make sure the guard room is clear. And then to do a sweep of the treasury.
Lessness will lead the way, and she's positively glowing. Sorry.
Could we should we take a break at this point?
Yeah, that would be a good place to go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
Cool. All right, folks. Well, we shall be back in about 5-10 minutes. In the meantime, I have another interview lined up in the thing that I did, so folks can check that out whilst we are away panicking. We shall see you in a bit. Be right back. Hey, folks. Welcome to the break. Greg is here to talk to us about Tales from the Grim. Hello. That's the other side. Hello.
Yes,
Where am I?
You are.
I don't. Let's go. Yeah, I just wanted to see what stuff you've got going on your channel right now.
Let's see. Right now, we have a Witcher game that's going on Wednesday nights. Fantastic, the dark, hopeless world of the continent for the Witcher and everything. But with a fantastic cast that I have right now with Trooper, with Josh from Roleplayer TV, from Bill the Forest. We have Prax on there, and I'm forgetting JF with Double Crits, who was been on some episodes of May Black Roses Bloom. They bring a little hope both to my life and that dreary world of The Witcher, and it's fabulous. We're also finishing up a mini series based on Blades in the Dark, The Watchmen, off of the graphic novel, and so we were able to explore that world a little bit and see another little corner subsect of what was going on during the same time that Ozymandias was deciding to drop a squid on New York. So with that lovely thought in mind, we're looking at that. And then we also have a couple things that are just about ready to be announced that are going to be fun. And we're getting into community games and things like that for the summer months, spring and summer months as they come ahead. So we have a lot of fun stuff on the horizon, but primarily the community's there to support one another, play some games, and tell some stories.
Excellent. And I caught some of both of those that you just mentioned, and Witcher has been really cool. You actually have a player there who is actually playing an instrument as his bard character. It is freaking
Correct.
Awesome.
Yep. Actually strumming the lute, which is or lyre. I forget exactly what the stringed instrument is.
Yeah,
but it is fantastic, and never had played it before. Playing it on stream, showing the incredible talent that is Trooper, and just a great moment.
Awesome. Well, I also wanted to ask about with Watchmen. His I don't have a lot of experience with the Forged in the Dark systems as of yet. I've played Scum and Villainy, but I haven't really seen much else. And it seems to me that there's what do you do when you, as far as, is it at all difficult to inject RP more into those? I found that thus far the games that I played, it's like there's lots of steps of things. but it seems more mechanical than RP. Have you encountered that, or am I just out of my mind?
No, 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 you're absolutely right. It's formulaic in that, you have to jump from one section or prescribed part of the narrative to the next with like downtime actions, the score, you're rolling an engagement roll. A lot of the things that you would RP, instead of sneaking into the castle, you're rolling an engagement roll, and that tells you how well you snuck into the castle, which is kind of different than what you and I are used to as far as telling the story. What I have found is I think it's a great way to take bits and pieces of the system and the framework and pause and tell your story. And I being a GM that likes drama, whenever they're supposed to be safe with downtime is the perfect time to have something attack. And so that's I like doing that. And I think that the system itself is fantastic, and it's really good to plug a lot of things into, and that structure helps at first. And then I think once everybody gets comfortable with it, like any system, then you're able to do and put your own spin on it. And again, fantastic players that like to tell stories, that's 99% of a GM's job, and I'm blessed to have fantastic players. So I get to sit back and watch them tell awesome stories, and then I occasionally will lean forward and say, let's make a roll on that. And that's my job.
Excellent. Very good. No, it's what I've seen of it has been really awesome. One thing though, if we may, I would like to talk about a show that has recently been on your channel, and that is May Black Roses Bloom. That is freaking epic, this Dragonlance story. I wasn't even really into Dragonlance very much, and I got more interested in it as a result of that show.
It was a fantastic experience. Again, collaborative storytelling is my jam, and that was when for my part, I played a Knight of Saltmaw in it, and I was able to play a knight, and something that with a character I had created as a 9-year-old kid. And so in being able to do that, I thought, oh my gosh, how much weight and pressure to play this character right. And then I met everybody else's characters and realized, holy smokes, they have the exact same weight and pressures because of the characters that they've created, either brand new characters or concepts that they had for a long time. Allison had a concept for a character for a very long time. And you're playing in a world, a beloved world, a setting of majesty and such weight with the characters and the experience. And Dawn handled all of that masterfully by weaving in our tales with sort of established tales, but in a different way because they weren't really the same. And it was something never to forget. It was a great one. It was an absolute fantastic one.
Yeah, it's it was masterful seeing that, and so that's I think one of the reasons why folks should folks you should follow and check out Tales from the Grim. I think as much as possible. They have an archive in there even of wondrous drama on their YouTube and also on their VODs. I hear if you look, there's a very interesting sort of horror western that's been playing there quite recently. I hear that one's pretty good. You might want to check that one out if you have the opportunity.
You'll be wrong. It's not pretty good. It's excellent.
Well, that's great to hear. That is delightful. So where can folks find you if they want to go hunting for you?
If they want to hunt for me,
they want to go hunt for you. No,
right,
that came out completely wrong. If they want to find you online, where should they go?
Right. You can find me on Twitter at Grimjack21502. Just hit me up there. All the Discord links and everything is right there from the splash of the Twitter. So follow me over there. We'll talk and rap and have some fun talking about nerdy stuff, which is always the end result of any bad day, that you can sit down with friends and talk about things that excite the creative juices. And so join me there.
Awesome. Well, it's about time for me to toss things back over to me. Or if we're still running around backstage screaming, then over to a delightful moving picture with some nice music behind it, probably. But either way, we'll see you soon. Take care. We have returned. And I believe we're assaulting the treasury.
We're liberating the treasury.
Yes.
Liberating the treasury.
Liberating it, yes.
All right. So, Lasnus, you go in to do a sweep of the guard room before liberating the treasury, and you see some type of dense fungus has almost overgrown the barracks.
Everybody, watch where you step. There's a fungus among us.
Shouldn't we just burn it?
Yeah, does the fungus look at all familiar?
Oh yes, Cole recognizes this as Xenobloom. It's
It looks like Xenobloom.
yeah, it's a psionic fungus that is apparently sentient and has a somewhat symbiotic relationship with the worms.
Apparently, what we were able to find out, it was somewhat sentient and has something of a symbiotic relationship with the worms.
So does that mean we should just burn it?
Yes, it does.
Yep. I'm going to launch some plasma at it.
Okay.
And you see just
This looks like the missing scene from Alien, right?
Yeah.
Rekmara has his hand out, and it's just like fireball after fireball. Just the sickness must be purged.
Okay. Well, Mr. Cole, roll to hit.
Okay. So that's a 19.
That's a hit.
The fungus can dodge?
I'm very concerned.
I'm very concerned about this.
Did you miss the part where he said it was sentient?
Well, it doesn't mean that it can move. It's just
Hey,
aware
did I-
of its...
You saw Narita run today. Anything is possible.
Did I beat its armor class by 5?
Yes, yes, you did.
Awesome.
Exactly by 5.
Okay.
You know.
10. That's 10 damage.
Okay.
Is it critical that we that we, by the way, if I've encountered this before, do I know if it's critical that we get it done quickly? Or no? Like, is it going to start screaming in our heads if we don't burn it fast, basically, is what I'm saying.
Will it alert the worms to our presence?
It may not start screaming in your heads and causing psychic damage. It may be sheltering more worms, so it's best to purge it. And it is known for explosive growth spurts to take over patches where creatures have fallen to the worms.
That's all I needed to know. I'm overcharging. That's another 5, so 15.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Rekmara is just going to roll up his sleeves. Okay. I think we're going to have to be a little bit more explosive here. And he just puts his fingers together, and then he goes, Shinku Hadouken. And you see a giant flaming sphere about how big is this? Yeah, it's like 5 feet in diameter, and he just rolls it out and rolls it over the space of the Xenobloom.
Okay.
and he's just going to leave it there, and it's going to take basically 2d6 fire damage.
Okay. Do I need to make a save for that?
You can do a save for half damage.
Okay. That's a 3 minus 2.
Yeah. So no.
No.
But
That's
It's
not.
gonna take all that damage.
yeah.
Say,
So it's going to take 6.
fireballing.
It's going to take 6 damage, and it lasts for a minute. So it's going to probably sit there for the
Yeah.
whole duration.
Okay.
That's a strike.
Lasness, would you like to have a go?
Yes. Lasness picks up her hammer. She looks at it, then she almost kicks her cat. She looks at it, she looks at the enemies, and then she looks at her hammer again. And that light surrounds her another time. And she wields it in front of her, and then brings it up and down in a long sweep, and she yells, Varden Blade. And it's going to shoot energy at it through Channel Divinity.
Okay.
Long way of saying that. Love it. Okay. Yeah, no, totally failed. It was beautiful.
Well, it is at this point that the Xeno Bloom is going to react to being attacked, and it is going to lash out with its thorns at Lasness. And that's a 17 to hit.
That's just enough. And she says, "Good, it's following my plan." Fritz, nothing to worry about. Everything's fine. Totally.
The things I hear on the comm.
That is 10 points of slashing damage from the
Yikes.
thorns.
Ow, I mean, wow, I can't believe this is really working. Now you guys can fire on it even easier.
Narita, are you still out in the hall, or have you followed your party members?
She feels as if she has appropriately redirected everyone out into the surface. So now she feels as if she may be valuable to her teammates. So she's wandered down the hall, looks
Narita.
in, and there's a fireball.
Returns. There's a fireball. There is Lasness being lashed with thorns.
And Narita thinks for a moment, maybe I should go back. But decides to try to attempt to help. So, let's see. What are we going to do? She is going to have Ted hop down and start attacking what he can with his little Ted arms.
This poor thing.
Oh, Ted.
He can't get infected. He's fine.
Oh, Ted.
Ted's fine.
Find the fireball, Ted.
That's true.
Best way to be safe.
I redirect Ted away from the flames. He's not the smartest, but he tries real hard.
Ed seems a bit uncertain what to do with this crazy plant. But he attempts to tie its shoelaces together.
Going so well.
We've lost Mem.
Narita will take out her blaster and shoot. Aim around. Poor Ted. Poor Ted. It's a 12.
Twelve is a miss.
Oh, Ted, I'm sorry, buddy. Can she call Ted back, or is he just doomed to tie shoelaces and die?
You can call him back. Yeah.
Call him back. He's struggling.
He is struggling. He sort of like points at your blaster and just he doesn't have a weapon.
Come on back, little buddy. Come on back. I thought maybe he could just rip him up. Barely, he cannot. That's okay. Next time, Ted. Next time. Next time there's shoelaces.
Okay. That's gonna bring us back around to the top of the round. So, Cole, I believe that was you first.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was. I am going to... I briefly considered throwing bottled lightning at it, but I realized that I have a better chance of harming it with my guns. So I am going to... got to switch to the blaster. And once again, attempt to give it the joy of... to present it with the joys of radiant damage. Oh, okay. So I got a 19 on the die, which is part of my crit range.
Yes.
Yay!
And so it's basically a total of 25.
And you get that bonus for surpassing its AC.
I think I'm also going to go ahead and I'm planning to just keep swapping back and forth between the two weapons. So I'm going to overcharge that as well, if I may. What happens when we crit in 5e? I forget.
You double your dice.
Oh, holy crap. So does that include... Wait. So what all does that include?
All of the dice. All dice roll twice, and then you add the modifier.
Okay. This was a... now, when I overcharge, I think I have to do it as a bonus action. Does that offset that, or no? Do I go ahead and roll that, or?
You don't have to. You make another attack roll, do you?
No.
So double that as well.
All right, here we go. I'm rolling 8 dice. There was not enough room in the well of my die tower for all this damage. Okay,
extra.
I got some fairly high numbers, just so everyone's aware. I believe that's 34 damage.
Oh,
Ooh,
lovely.
nice.
We need to get you an Elmo.
Huzzah.
Mr. Hayden, how do you want to do this?
Yes.
And the funny thing is, I did this with my regular blaster. That's the funny part, the repeater. So I'm like, I see it lash out with the thorns on the end of this on the end of his vine, and I'm like, oh hell no! I just basically I turned the setting up, and I just seemed to rapid fire all over the thing. Until
Maybe a couple of the blaster shots went through the fire, the spear,
Yeah.
the flaming spear, and just caused an extra reaction.
Yeah, probably just the whole thing blows up and starts burning.
There you go.
Vine's wriggling and screaming as it does so.
And screaming at fire. This room has been cleansed.
Do we need to put the fire out, or is it okay if everything just burns?
I don't think any of us are coming back here again, so
Close the door.
Just close it.
Lastness,
And it didn't happen.
Lastness spits in the room one last time and closes the door.
Well,
we
should
have to go through this to get to the treasury.
No, you just turn around and go back down the hall.
Oh, okay.
where you came from.
No.
She's breathing kind of heavily, by the way.
Um,
That was a lot of fun.
And limping. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that plan went really, really well.
You
Did
okay?
it? And Rekmara is just going to roll his eyes a bit and cast Cure Wounds on her.
I keep looking carefully. I am going to look to see while that's happening. I am looking to see if it breached her suit.
Those are good questions.
So he did healed 12 points of damage.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Narita's just gently comforting poor Ted, who did his best to tie the shoelaces.
Try tying the tentacles together.
Did the plant or anyone else, for that matter, breach Lasness's suit, or is Lasness's suit intact?
Does it need
Intact
fixing?
so far.
Okay.
Okay.
So Lastness gives her Sue the once over and then gives a thumbs up to everybody. All right, let's go execute another great plan.
You realize most plans happen in advance, right?
Okay, well, let's just go and make sure everyone's fine then.
Sounds like a good plan.
Oh, that was easy. Lastness stomps off.
Right. Checking the treasury.
Yes.
Okay. So the 10-foot square entrance expands to the east to form a room of considerable size. There's it's like a short corridor and then opens up into a square room. You have been warned that there are traps.
Oh, that was a voice.
No traps. Now we're good.
It's good now. Clearly, it cannot defeat.
Indeed.
And now there are no traps.
There are no traps because you know where to walk to avoid stepping on the false floor and falling into the pit.
Oh,
And
good.
you also have the key to unlock and disarm the chest at the end of the room. So you will not be darted with poison.
Oh, good.
That's good.
I like not being darted with poison.
Should we send the smallest person below the dart level to the chest?
I was gonna go to it anyway.
Perfect.
We just needed to check to see if there was anyone in here, right? Or is there
With
there
the
something else
key.
we're doing?
Oh yeah,
There is no one in here.
Okay, I guess, yeah, so I don't know if we actually need to go in unless we're going to try to gather some of the lizard folks' stuff as they leave their home planet for ruin.
Oh yeah, right. Where we're gonna fetch the stuff for them.
we agree to that.
Apparently not.
I'm here to look for treasure.
There we go. Can you please not rob the people we're trying to save?
It's their payment for being saved, sir.
Oh my god.
Haven't you ever heard Sorry.
It's like I personally agree with just taking their treasure so that they can have them elsewhere, but I mean, I guess Rekmaral's going to take his cut first.
I'm just looking to see if there's anything of importance here. Maybe
For you or for them?
Yes.
Oh my god.
The douchiest druid ever.
Just another morally ambiguous bird man.
Oh, but seriously,
Roll
we're
over
gonna
here.
just gonna peer around out of curiosity.
See how this better half live. No, well, I would assume that while we're securing areas, the guard is probably moving people through as we clear to get whatever they can, like the most essential stuff. I thought that's why we were doing this.
If Rekmara, if you're checking that chest, there is treasure inside. There's a lot of coins for some reason,
How fashionable.
and there's a gold-boned ivory scepter and a crown in the shape of a coiled serpent, and a lot of silk and leather goods.
Oops,
Well, I'm sure the queen. I'm sure the queen would want this scepter and crown back. But well, these coins look like collector's items.
And you're a collector.
collector.
And he's just gonna scoop maybe 2 handfuls of coins into his pockets.
Dorita's just watching with gentle head shake.
What? I'm not carrying the whole thing. We're just I don't know. Could we carry this whole chest?
I mean, you could.
Let's just drag the whole chest back with us.
That goes. Well, it goes on the last trip up.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can just get out to the staging area.
Out of character comment. I'm imagining Rekmara putting the coiled serpent crown on his head, and everyone looking at him like, "What? It's just the easiest way to carry it."
Oh my god.
And it would look great on him, in my mind at least.
On top of his life suit.
Yes.
The funny thing is, normally I would be more mercenary about this myself, but unfortunately, we landed on a planet where
We're
that I
seen
have
as the
history
heroes.
on. Yeah.
Where you let them down.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you did.
So he's,
That'd
We're
be
rescuing
painful.
this. We're rescuing this for them.
yeah, that's it.
Are we though?
Yeah, he says as he subtly jingles his pockets.
Oh God.
I'm just gonna
Lasness
keep.
Lasness is giving you a look.
I'm gonna see how the evacuation's going. Sort of.
We all turn back around and get away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rekmara's just going to drag the chest back down to the staging area.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like that. I mean, basically all I did when we went is I just checked the room for worms, and then I pretty much turn around and head back out.
Yeah.
We're probably sealing each door that we can, so that way nothing can get back in.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, So heading back toward the drill hall where everyone is supposed to gather. Do you want to actually go back through the throne room and check the temple?
I mean, we part of this whole plan was that we check the whole base and make sure that everything's secure.
All right.
Or
So that's going to be the next area on your way back.
Okay. Well, he's going to draw. Rick Morrow's going to take his time and move the chest back into the staging area before he continues on with the rest of the group.
And you notice that the Queen's people have already begun bringing people out to the shuttle, and that has been going back and forth this whole time.
Cool.
Everything going okay up there, Fritz?
Yep, getting everybody squared away. Only had one more hatch up here. You should have told me that we had things, population boom going, as it were, but I think we get things taken care of.
Great. You're doing great up there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to go through the throne room to get to the temple. A stairs that goes down at the far end of the room, and then a tunnel to the south that will take you into the temple. And as you are on your way into that room, a shaman comes fleeing out of the temple. Running for his life, and screaming about worms everywhere. We're too late.
You're muted.
I don't
They're
suppose.
everywhere.
Can we just shut the door and hope for the best?
Can we just collapse the tunnel?
Or collapse the chapel?
How would you like to do that?
How about with one of the lightning in the bottles, my rocket hammer, and if anybody has a defense buff that could temporarily increase my AC. And
Anybody.
Is that in? Well, okay. Well, information versus things. Is that 12 on the map, or is that?
Yes, number
okay.
12 on the map is
All
the
right.
temple.
Can I real quick, as the shaman is fleeing, just sort of ask, is there anybody else in there?
No,
Okay.
just me. Everyone else is up.
All right. Well, I think we'd be decent just sort of collapsing the tunnel.
That little intersection right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That basically that little intersection down at the bottom near 12, basically
Yes, and
where
then you can
it branches
retreat
up.
through the tunnel that goes back to the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was seeing it this way. Cole would throw the lightning in the bottle. Then Rekmara would hit it so that way it would burst. While me and Mem would make it burst, and me and Rekmara would work on bringing down the corridor. It's just an idea, just spitballing.
I think having the bottle lightning explode and then you kind of attacking the walls to see if we can make it collapse is a fair idea.
So, are these tunnels the way that they look? Is like if we, does it look like we can just collapse the one section? Like if we collapse like a section,
You can see
Yeah.
Some support beams at this intersection, and you think if you can damage that, you could probably collapse that part of the tunnel.
All right.
If you would like to bring Lee down to assist, she may have some proper explosive charges.
Ooh.
We just have to hold them.
Yeah, just hold them right up to the no.
Just stand there like Samson.
Yeah, we can.
No, Lee will come down and help place some charges, and then you can.
Fire away.
Yeah, we can stand back and just below the intersection.
Yep.
Wow, that closed captioning. Wow, Jim.
That's where the
Yeah, so that is where it's located, so that's fair.
My word.
it is in fact below the intersection.
Yeah. Right below the intersection.
Closed captioning is the best.
Magical.
The best.
Absolutely magical. I love it so much.
Wow. Okay.
Fire in the hole!
Don't even.
Just below the intersection.
Below the intersection.
So that happened.
Okay, well. Good night, folks. No. All right, what are we doing?
Retreat back toward number 40.
Have we collapsed the tunnel?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. We'll never have to think about that intersection ever again.
Never again. Moving on.
You don't think about the intersection all the time?
No, not all the time.
Ow, my face hurts.
I mean, occasionally, but you want to. For the most part, I spend most of the hours of my life thinking about things other than that intersection.
Don't.
I mean, sometimes your thoughts wander if you've had too much to do during the day and start thinking about tunnels. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm done.
So, while all of this has been happening,
It's good masonry. Sorry.
the Queen's Glaive has cleared the 36, 35, etc., and begun that evacuation. So Lees tells you all that's left is the semi-aquatic living quarters and the prison.
They want to go through the rest of this area.
Yes.
I feel like we could go back to that original plan, and there's another intersection we could take down if we wanted to.
I think we should really keep that open just in case that there's any trouble.
That's right. That's right. So we just got to check out the. So think we should check them out. I think it's probably just in case there's Anything there
Yeah.
we need to push back?
All right.
I'll take lead.
Yeah, really, I guess we should have started with the prison, because if they couldn't tell if he was infected, he might not have been. But now, it might be too late.
One less
Here's-
person.
We are such good stewards of sentient life everywhere in the galaxy.
Doing our best in a very tense moment.
Yeah, I think the hatchery and the nursery cleared faster than we wanted it to clear, so this wasn't the plan.
Did we check to make sure no one got left behind in the hatchery?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Just before they ran out screaming from the worm walkers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, that was about that time.
So which one is first? Which one is first along our route? Is it the...
First along your route is going to be, I believe, 51.
So 51 is
One of the aquatic.
the
Yeah,
aquatic area.
that
Yeah.
little,
Okay. Cool,
that
cool.
little half circle. It's going to be that little half circle of semi-aquatic areas.
Okay.
And then the prison is 22 and 42 and 43.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's actually I
Around
took it away too soon. There it is again. So you have to go through the aquatic area to get to the prison. I gotcha. All right. Sure. I mean, if there's a chance that that they're not infected, then we should probably go and get them.
Okay.
Should we split up to clear these areas faster? Should we stay together?
No, we should stick together.
So then
Always stick together when dealing with these things.
to the jail and then back?
Yeah, we'll have to head through the aquatic area to get to the jail. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You can make a quick sweep of that area.
Okay.
No problem. So you see, as you were going through, the scaly hobgoblins are assisting some short, round, they're like tadpole people with little arms and flippery legs, and some merfolk. Out of their pools and down the hall, they were waiting to see the whites of your eyes so that they could be out of the water as little as possible. And they are heading toward the drill hall to evacuate.
It's a good thing we decided to check this area then.
I'm going to calm down to the surface. It's like, did you guys just say something about amphibians and merfolk? Do I need a tank up here?
I'm sure they'll be fine for the wood jump.
They will be okay.
Okay, just checking out because I've got eggs everywhere right now.
As the merfolk are walking out, Rita calmly assures them that everything is okay in Auckland, which I'm assuming they speak as well.
Yes. And they find their that very reassuring. And there are a couple of guards in the area, the pool, or at the pool in Area 49. And they're just kind of guarding that, or keeping watch on that entrance to the north, to make sure nothing comes in from that direction, so that you can go ahead and make a sweep of the prison.
Okey-doke.
Is there an exit from 49 that would be able to access the kind of staging area other than going back to 40? Like, could you like make it out to the ship?
Yes. Yep. If you were to take that little rivulet or what have you out into the through the water, you could get to the beach where the shuttle is parked.
So maybe we should be redirecting all of the people from kind of the water areas out that way instead of back through the tunnels.
Can we guarantee that those spots are safe, though?
It's going to be too hard to pin down to pin anyone down over there.
Yeah. That area is going to be more open, and that is where they suspect more Sawagan might try to infiltrate.
Never mind.
So that's why they're going the other direction, and why the guards are standing here.
Gotcha.
So 42, there are a few more guards stationed in that area, watching the prison, but when you come through, they will sort of just step aside and you do your thing. And they will kind of stand outside of the door, and a couple of them will like keep watch inside, and the other two will watch the exit with the others. So then you can go into area 43, and you see that in a 43A on the far end is where they have the Sawagan isolated, and in 43E on the near end there is where they have kept one of the lizard folk who came in contact with said Sawagan.
We should have the guards evacuate the prisoner, and we'll take care of this lizard man. Lasness may try to use lay on hands. See if maybe that'll cure the guy. Right. Take care of. You got it, Fritz.
I mean, couldn't we tell if he was infected by a psyworm?
What did we do when we were trying to detect the psyworms before, and how did we get them out of people, if they were?
If you were in combat and you saw it happen, when a creature becomes infested, it takes necrotic damage.
Okay, so it's kind of obvious when it's happening then, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does he have this necrotic damage?
The exposed guy?
Yeah.
Is he writhing around crying out in pain?
No. He seems pissed off.
Probably all right then.
Yeah, no, he hasn't got it.
All right, let him out.
Why did you? I just sort of. I will look over at the guards. Why did you lock this one up?
He was in for an infraction.
Oh, okay. I assume that, and this is actually probably something we would have discussed with the Queen earlier as far as protocol stuff goes. Are we cleared to clear out the prisoners as long as they're not infected?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got to evacuate them along with everybody else.
So the guards will escort him out.
Yeah. However, they want to deal with any of that when we get back to Saltmaw Station is up to them.
Yeah.
We're all right.
All that's left is the definite brain-wormed person.
Is he, or did they say they didn't know?
Said they didn't know.
The exposed one. So, is that something that I could, maybe, detect?
You can, you can see, by looking at them, because it goes, from what Cole has told you, it goes very quickly. It does not take them long to succumb to the worms once they become infected. And this one still seems to be alive.
Does he appear to have any necrotic damage?
No.
So it doesn't look like he was infected?
He does not appear to have been infested.
So,
Alright.
can I use lay on hands on him?
You can.
So, I can also expend 5 hit points from my pool of healing to cure a target of 1 disease or neutralize a poison affecting it. And I can cure multiple diseases and neutralize multiple poisons with a single use of lay on hands. But I have up to 15 points because it's based on my paladin level times 5. So can I use 5 points to kind of like try to purge this creature of whatever's afflicting it?
You can certainly try.
Sounds like a plan.
Is he afflicted by anything?
I don't have an
Not
ability
matter.
to sense that. Good point, Fritz.
But I mean, what is his behavior like? Does it seem as though he's ailing in any way?
No,
He's just in there mad
he,
because he's in
he
prison.
does. He appears to be healthy. He's just sullen and probably a little bit hostile.
Okay.
All right, well, we're going to have to secure him if we're going to take him with us.
Yeah, sure. Just take out my cuffs, basically. And I sort of look over. Actually, did they tell us why? Did they tell us the reason why he was here?
They suspect he may have been a scout.
Okay.
Can't actually do anything other than be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
They caught him sneaking into the complex.
Okay.
Locked him up.
Okay.
Narita will try to cast Charm to make it easier to get him in the cuffs without a fight.
Okay.
And it's a Wisdom saving throw.
$14.
Yeah, that failed. Okay, I tried.
Yeah. Wait. The save failed or the spell failed?
Spell failed.
Okay. I'm just sort of looking at that. I'm like, yeah, let's. Okay. I just sort of lean in. Hey, buddy. We need to get you out of here. We're evacuating this place. You gonna cooperate?
Just kill me now and get it over with.
Well, we're not here to kill you. We're here to evacuate you.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on killing you.
We really don't have time for this.
Yeah, we'll figure all that out once we get to Saltmaw Station. For now, though, you're still. I regret to inform you, you still have to live.
Or we can leave you here for the worms.
Leave me here for the fracking worms.
Whoa, language? I'm only kidding.
No, she's not kidding.
Alas, this isn't.
Turn around and get these handcuffs on, my friend.
And I think as we're putting on the cuffs, assuming that that's proceeding in some fashion,
In some fashion.
I will say,
He's mostly bluster.
have your people been hit by this?
Everything humanoid has been hit by this.
Yeah. Right, but see, unfortunately, I can't think of a cool way to say this that would be provided by a script writer. So all Jim can think to say is, "How are they holding up?"
Great. How'd he think?
How'd they even end up here? Because I know we didn't freaking leave any Sahuagin when we came the one before, so I'm thinking. I think to myself, we didn't leave any Sahuagin here, did we? No. How long have your people been on this planet?
Long enough?
Do they have a way of getting off?
The priestesses seem to think so.
Okay.
I think they're gonna get us all killed.
Oh boy. Look, we'll talk about it on the way to the shuttle. Because I'm now having these very... Yeah, oh god, this can't possibly work.
What can't work?
So after I put the cuffs on him, I just sort of stand back. I'm just doing some of the math for like the people that we've already got up on the ship. I've just got a suspicion. That's all.
I mean, if he's asking, I can give a running number, but I just need to know
Well,
what the
that's true.
running number is.
Yeah, that's fair. And I say, and actually, so as we're starting to try to lead him out, I think I'm gonna just keep. I'm gonna ask him, why do you say that? Why do you think your priestesses are gonna get your people killed?
Muted? Still muted?
Yeah, you go.
Trying to open a portal.
Oh, fun.
And that's how they're getting out. Are they?
You can't.
What?
You can't open a maw on a planet.
They're doing this now?
Let me know if Fritz hears any of this.
Let's see. I don't have history. Is there some sort of thing whereby we would happen to know how maws work, at least on that level? Whereas, like, if someone opens a maw on a planet, that kind of that's like a very specialized thing, right? You have to open a maw in a specific place, like
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
there's a giant space beast or something like that.
Yes. And nobody really knows how to do that except for the amoeboids. And because as far as any of the humanoid races are concerned, the maws have always been where they are.
Yeah.
And even the amoeboids don't necessarily have records that go that far back.
So
And diddling around with things in the proximity of that kind of work
But
is what leads to dead zones.
Yeah. And it's generally not a good idea to try to void jump in atmosphere.
yeah. So how the hell are they going to try and do that? That's nuts.
Lessness stops walking as she hears all of this and slams the butt of her rocket hammer down and says, "Absolutely not. They're not going to do it because we're going to stop it."
Well, slow down there, drama queen.
Narita just kind of looks over at Cole like, are we going to stop that?
Oh God. How many? I'm just sort of turned to the Zoigan as we're just sort of trying to sort of like, about how many people do you have right now surviving?
I don't know. He looks over at Narita. How many people you reckon it can carry on a world ship that crashes?
A world ship?
Whirl.
War or world?
Whirl.
Or-
WHORL.
You keep saying it over and over again. Whirl.
Whirl.
What's a world ship?
It's the Nautilus ship.
It's a Nautilus mothership, basically. He's comparing their number to the number of people a Nautilus mothership might hold.
Out of character question, how many people is that?
And let me tell you,
A ton.
moment, please. Upwards of 3,500 passengers.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's a tad outside of our available capacity.
Just a smidge too many.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not going to be able to. We can get this one off. That's going to be about it, I think.
One saved.
Yeah, there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell.
Should we try to contact?
We got to get off this
Saltmaw?
planet.
Saltmaw for backup, or
I mean, we can let them know. I don't know if they're going to do anything, but let's at least. Yeah, we got to get these people off this planet, because this is. If they try to pull off what, we're thinking they're going to try to pull off, this is not going to be. It's possible no one's going to be able to leave.
This could destabilize the whole verse.
Yeah.
so we're gonna take the 70 we can and leave the several thousand we can't.
I mean, what the hell else are we going to do? And actually, did what Lastness just say? Hold water. By the way, is that something that can actually kill the universe itself, or are we talking about
Just one planet? All planets? Some planets?
It's not good. It might not affect the entire galaxy, but this section of space, it would not be good. If you have heard legends of what happens when void jumps go wrong, or void crystals in dark matter engines explode, and sometimes you can get a rift that comes untethered, and it's not good because it will just keep wandering.
Well, we just jumped from a nearby maw, so if you put two maws together, I have a feeling that's probably not going to be a very good thing. That was the assumption I was going on.
Even if they tried this, the odds are the spell is just going to fizzle out.
So okay, actually, you know what? Actually, hold on a second. As we're doing this, I'm going to say, you know what? Here, let's actually patch in the person who might actually know more about how this. Someone who might also know a little bit about how this works. Hey, Fritz, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
So, apparently, the Sahuagin tribe down here, the Sahuagin people down here, they're about perhaps 3,500 of them, are trying to, yeah, they're gonna try and open a maw on the planet.
What?
Yeah, I think we need to get the hell out of here. But
yeah, and the problem is there are a couple of things that could happen based on that, and step in if I'm completely out of the realm of what's going on. But they could either rip everything open between here and the nearest maw, which would be a bad thing for everybody. Or they could create the biggest dead magic zone this side of the flotilla, which would also be a very bad thing. I'm getting the sense of, not that it's a problem for me, but I mean, a lot of other people seem to have an issue with this. That said, we probably ought to get these folks out of here now. And it's all a timing issue. We got to get these folks out of the immediate blast zone, and then if you want to do anything about it, see maybe if the Amoeboids back in Saltmaw have any suggestions about how to shut somebody down. Didn't take us that long to get here.
Yeah, that's fair. How big a range are we talking about here? This sector of the galaxy. I mean, is this going to hit other populated areas?
I have no idea. It depends on how big a portal they think they can open. I mean, And what are they powering it with?
Wrong.
Yeah, right. And what are they powering it with? And they might have a portal but no planet to stand on. I mean, there's all sorts of things that could happen here. So
we're gonna have to patch in the Amoeboids on this.
Yeah. Once we make the second jump back and we're in normal space at Saltmaw, we should be able to get a hold of Iota and those guys.
Yeah. All right. Let's get moving.
All right. I'm going to start firing up now. I know you guys will be in with one more shuttle. Is that right?
I think so. Actually, how far along are we?
Yeah, you should be able to get everybody out in one more trip.
All right. I'm going to ask you guys to make sure everybody is in the safety seats so that we can slam as soon as you guys close the door.
All right.
Always something fun.
All right. So you load the last of the refugees that you are able to take with you from the lizard folk lair onto the shuttle with your party, and you take off back to rendezvous with the Space Ghost. And as Fritz and Lasnes fire up your dark matter drive to jump back to the nearest mall, that's where we're going to close our session.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Cliffhanger.
Did the queen and the did the queen leave last? Did she end up on the same shuttle as the prisoner? Because that had to be an awkward ride.
There is some awkward tension, and then you jump.
At least he's alive to feel that tension, okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that was awesome. That was really cool.
Yeah. Captioner really had it tonight.
Yes, it
Captioner
did.
was a real winner tonight.
Yeah.
The MVP right there.
We need to have a little talking with with web captioner about standards and practices. Oh man, all right. Well, then we're gonna go ahead and do our outros. Just gotta say, Alyssa, by the way, just that you're killing it. Taking this this material. That I know is written for a fantastical medieval civilization, and putting it here where we can play with all the space tropes throughout it. And it feels like a space drama, even though I know it's a fantasy thing. That's awesome, very well done.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for bringing us this. We are going to go ahead. We're going to do our outros, and folks can say where to find you online, and any favorite moments you might have had, and any other thoughts you had about this session. And we shall start with our station master, Alyssa.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for playing, and thank you, everyone, for watching. I have taken us a bit off the rails, and I am having so much fun. I can't wait to see how the party extracts more information from their Sahuagin frenemy. We'll go with that. And how they prepare for what is happening on Chiron.
Yeah, and honestly, it's one of those things where it's like I feel just as far as at least Cole is concerned, and I'm sure as far most of us are concerned, I'm just sort of neutral toward we're not the ones who have the beef with the Sahuagin, but we may be about to if they're going to try to destroy a significant portion of the galaxy, so that might be an issue. But it's a very interesting to me, just sort of thought of like, well, because for a little while I was thinking, oh God, are we going to need to save them too? Because it only sort of makes sense. I don't want to leave them here. So,
but
it's like, there are 3,500 of them. That's a little too big for the ship. But let us continue our outros and go over to Mem.
Oh, I'm Mem. You can find me here on Sundays, on Twitch sometimes, and on, well, very rarely, honestly, and on Twitter, uncertain Mem there. Favorite moments tonight? There were so many. Probably my favorite will be below the intersection.
Just that area right there.
It was a great time. always look forward to this time so much. You all are awesome. So thanks for having me here.
Yeah.
And then thank you for everyone who watches. We're having a great time. It's been a really awesome first full campaign. I like it.
Very cool, very cool. All right, well let us head on up to May.
Hi, everybody. I'm May. You can find me on Twitter occasionally, a little more often these days, and pretty much nowhere else at this time, but that may change at some point. I enjoyed every bit of today, and I hope you all did too. And I can't wait to do this again next week and hope you're all here.
Absolutamente. And over to Cazimi.
Hi, I'm Cazimi. I exist here on Sunday evenings, so maybe I'll pop out of my shell at some other point at some other place, but not yet. Boy, people have touched on favorite moments this evening. I do have to say word captioner really was just owning us tonight. But I do love the very, very extra moments that Lasness provided today. So that was very extra cinematic and always appreciated in these campaigns. So thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, folks.
Yeah, I think that actually is my favorite moment too. Is just her getting entangled with the thing and blowing it away with after delivering a speech at it. That was glorious.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
And Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. For more information about what I do and where I'm streaming, you can visit my website. That's aninogaming.com. Tonight was a lot of fun. There was a lot of fire. I liked Cole's very judicious use of gunfire today, maximizing everything. Well, no, it's really funny because most of the games that I play with Jim are not game mechanics and combat oriented. So the fact that he's out here with I'm going to overpower this blaster rifle and then I'm going to roll 8 damage here. It's you're seeing this whole other side of Jim where
Surreal, isn't it?
where it's he can do this too. So anyway, I think the next time you'll find me is over on the Wandering DM channel for session 0 of Powered by the Apocalypse game tomorrow. I don't even know what it I completely forgot what it was. But anyway, you tune in. I think that's going to be around 8. It's going to be me, Dee, and I forget who else, but we'll figure it out next week.
You're doing really well.
I know, I'm doing so well here. So you'll find me there, and then again on Friday for Cyberpunk Red.
Very cool, very cool. All right, and so I also, just as always, I want to throw out a thanks to Jade Nebula for our art. And once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and some things I've written, along with links to game signups and applications to join our Discord. On Tuesday on this channel, in the afternoon, we will be continuing our short campaign of Alas Vegas. That is a semi-surreal RPG scenario with lots of violence. And it's a lot of tarot imagery, and it's a round robin GMing thing. James is going to be running that session, and then on Tuesday night I'm going to be guesting over on the Penny for a Tale channel, where we are going to be playing a game called Sexy Battle Wizards, and no doubt talking about how magic deals with intersections. And then on Wednesday nights, we're trying to get back to doing our Masks game in the fictional city of Doctropolis. We've had some folks have had some real life issues they've been having to deal with, so it's been kind of putting us on hiatus for a bit. So hopefully we'll have that back soon. And then on Saturdays we have our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. And on Sundays in the afternoons, we have one-shots. This coming Sunday, a week from today, we're probably going to do a one-shot of some kind. We might be playtesting something, possibly. I just kind of have to see kind of what it is we're doing. That's going to be... That Sunday has become a little bit uncertain with respect to the gaming. I had to shuffle the gaming calendar around a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I'll have announcements for that soon. And then, of course, Sunday night, more of this. And we get to see... What terrible, terrible fate might await this part of the galaxy, hopefully. And I am all for it. Each session I get more and more excited about this thing. So I am very, very pleased that we're going through it. Very cool. Sign-ups right now are still open for a couple of mini campaigns that are happening on this channel. So starting next month, we have Monster of the Week. We have sign-ups open for that until tomorrow, through tomorrow. So you have one more day to sign up if you want to get in on some Powered by the Apocalypse supernatural monster hunting. We also have The Sprawl that's going to start in mid-April, run by guest MC Brian. That is Powered by the Apocalypse in Cyberpunk. And sign-ups for that will run through this coming Wednesday, April 1st. So you've got basically 3 more days to do that if you want to get in on that action. If you want to sign up for anything, you just go down to RPG sign up down below, or go to jimyesthatjim.com and click on Game Sign Up. As always, beginners are welcome. So when we hit the end card, it looks like Happy Jacks is starting a new D&D 5e campaign. They're calling City of Towers, which I don't know if they're using Tolis or if it's a different setting, but I'm curious, and so I'm going to go ahead and send a raid over to them. So we're going to go say hi to them. Feel free to hang on if you are so inclined and say hi to them with us. That, again, will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you next week. Farewell.